Cool, that's all going. Cool. All right. Now, because it's been so long, and I actually haven't got a good recollection of the previous session, given it was 3 months ago. I want to hear from you guys what you did. Now, I do remember what the previous session started, and that was you guys were at the tavern speaking with Rebecca, or about to speak with Rebecca. Do you remember what you did thereafter? You guys are all funny guys. No, so you did recruit Liam, very reluctantly, but he did decide to follow you guys and head towards the cave. He did stop and pause over his father's dead body, who was out in the street, if you remember that. I think. Now I do remember that Doderick, you stole from the priest and got some healing potions, extra ones. I think. Is that a thing? Do you remember that? I'm pretty sure they've already been added. You're trying to sneak a couple of extras, but yeah, because there was the alchemical station all set up at the tavern, and they were trying to brew supplies for the town, and they handed you guys some, and then you went and spoke with the priest who was setting up like a little healer station in there. I don't specifically recall the conversation, but you did steal or pickpocket from him, and I do believe you got an extra vial or two out of his pocket. What does everybody else have? Because I think you all divvied up a heap after. Yes, that is also a possibility. All right. So, do you guys remember what you did thereafter? Yeah, that's right. Dodrick, you gave chase and you were faster than everybody else. Um, but the cultist on the back of the wagon, I think he ensnared or rooted your feet in place so you couldn't keep up. Then they disappeared into the rocky wall's edge through some sort of false wall. Yeah, and I think that's where we stopped. Was you guys were just sort of catching up with each other. Um, for roleplays speak, we'll say that they hadn't caught up at the end of last session, and they have just done so now. So if you want to take it after here. No, the caravan has escaped and it's disappeared. There's there's no sort of immediate threat. um, Now the sun is coming up. It is probably early morning. It's around 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 in the morning. So you do have the morning light coming over, so it is not dark. Uh, yeah, that's it was a long rest. So you guys long rested. You went to rest very early on the previous day at about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then you were woken with the sound of battle at about 2 or 3 in the morning. And then the last few game sessions have all been very, very close together in the space of just a couple of hours. And in that, you guys have been very, very drained of your abilities. But yes, the previous long rest was only a few hours ago. And Rebecca did send you with some urgency towards the cave wall as well. Yeah, I believe Rebecca was wanting you to find that where the townspeople have been taken. Yes, yes, it did. Okay, so the cave. So on the map, it's very, very open and devoid of shrub or bush or whatnot. Um, but it doesn't paint the actual picture of what you see. There is quite a few trees and shrubs and such, which is generally sort of overgrown in this particular area. However, where the cart and the ogres have been tracking backwards and forth, it has been sort of trampled and smushed down, and you can see very, very clearly that there's been some heavy movement of large objects through the space. Um, you approach up very carefully. Now, it's not full light just yet. The sun is starting to sort of creep over, but you've got that low light before the sun is sort of where we're sort of at in terms of what you can see. It still is relatively dark. You get up and start approaching the wall of the outcrest of the cave, or the no, it's not really a cave, I suppose. It's just that rocky sort of exterior wall that sort of protects Berein from the mountain. Now, I assume you're sneaking up, or you just um, just marching up in the middle, out in the middle. How is your approach? Okay. All right, so I'm sort of dictating you quite a fair bit back at this point, so it's not close. You're probably a good 60 60 feet, 90 feet. You're probably on that outskirts of the 100 feet. And as you start to approach, you notice a hooded figure leaning up against the rocky wall, but he's somewhat protected from view from the shrubs and trees which surround the area. As you approach him, or start to get near, now if you want to do something different, just speak out. Otherwise, I'm just sort of going to narrate what's doing as you slowly approach. Now, actually, as you all do so, I'll get you all to make a stealth check, please. With Fuzzy with disadvantage. 15. Nice. So you all creep up, and Liam is with you as well. Creeps up very quietly, and you just sort of keep to the side. But as you move up, now where's my notes? Sorry. Yeah, so you see this, he's a familiar hooded character. He's in that same similar sort of cultist uniform that you've been seeing around. And you can see him leaning up against the rocky wall. His face is unseen behind the shadow of his hood, and you watch and listen carefully as you approach. And you can hear the rustle of the wind in the leaves, and you actually hear the gentle hooting of an owl nearby. No, he looks human. At least, he's around 6 foot tall. Yeah, 5 to 6 foot tall, and has that human-y sort of build. He doesn't look huge like an orc or half orc. He could potentially be an elf, unsure, but around that sort of bit. And a moment passes, and you hear him speaking in a quiet sort of muffly tone. However, you cannot see who he's speaking to. And you hear, "Cut that out, all right? Stay hidden. We don't need no word of you getting about." And you don't get an immediate reply, and you can still hear the owl sort of hooting softly. He goes, "Ah, knock it off." Yeah. "No, you, cut that out, all right?" And you see the cultist, he turns his head. He stares to his right and glares before relaxing back to his pose and shifting gently behind a tree and further concealing him from your view. And the wind now picks up, and you hear the rustling of the leaves and such in the trees a bit louder than before, and you hear the hooting of the owl once again. Get you to make a perception. $11. The owl, it was coming, in front of you, but you couldn't say for certain if that is who he was talking to. Both the voice and such, the owl are in front of you. So you're looking for anything that's falling off the cart? Yep. No, I'll get you to make a perception check. 17. Nothing in the terms of, say, clothes. You do find a broken sword off to the side and a piece of the ogre's sort of war armor, which looks like it's fallen off his leg as he's been moving backwards and forwards. Hey. It has a couple of spikes protruding out. It looks, it's essentially his knee plate, I suppose. Uh, and yeah, there's a couple of spikes protruding out of the front of the knee, but it is sort of bent, almost like a turtle shell. Okay. Yeah. So now, get me if I'm wrong, but isn't hostile? I would say would be someone who wouldn't attack you on sight. If he was to see you, he would attack you on sight, so he would be hostile in that regard. However, if you could approach someone and they wouldn't attack you on sight, then they would not be hostile. It'd be very difficult because he's leaning up against the wall. Yeah. Yep. All right. So aside from where the carts have been dragged to and or dragged towards this space, like it's all been trampled and flattened. Everything else, there's a decent amount of shrubs and foliage that would be not dense terrain, but it's enough to obscure a lot of your vision. Sorry, 2 seconds.
She's just we haven't at the door.
Oh, okay.
I'll just leave it open the gate for her. Yeah. Well, we're quiet, so you don't need to
Okay.
close.
Sorry, can you hear me? Yeah. Um, yeah, Kat's just been like screaming at the door to try and get in here, and now that she's in, she wants it immediately out. You know, typical cat. um, yeah, so there's plenty of trees and bushes to sort of hide or attempt to hide past. So I'll get you to make a stealth check as you advance. Now, are you trying to get all the way to the wall? Like, where are you stopping, and what are you trying to do? The actual. Okay, so you want to make an approach, but not necessarily go through this illusion or anything like that. You just want to get close enough to have another look. Yep. All right. Make a stealth check, please, as you advance. Nice one. So you move forward, just keeping through the bushes and dodging the morning light and sticking to the shadows as much as you can. You can get about 10 feet away from, oh, sorry, 15 feet away from the entrance to this illusionary cave without being seen. Now, as you approach, the figure doesn't seem to have noticed you. He's not moving or hasn't reacted in any way which would um, give off your, you know, give you a indication that he knows where you are. I'll get you to make another perception check. 13. You have a long listen, but you can't hear the owl. If that's, you can't hear any sort of other noises. You just sort of gently hear nature. You sit there and you pose. You sit there. You have a listen for a few moments. You watch the cultist intently to see what he's doing. He sort of just shifts and he moves around, you know, looking around the tree and just sort of keeping watch. He doesn't notice you, and all right. You cast the spell, and your immediate appearance, you have the hood coming over your eyes, just sort of showing the bottom of your chin and such. Now, now, can disguise self, can that change your height? So can you disguise yourself to look taller than what you are actually? Is what I. Yes. So you still have two arms, two legs. I'm trying to see if you can try and pass yourself as a shorter human, or a rather than a small person, because you would know at this point you have not seen any halfling or short cultists. They've all been the 5 to 6 foot tall. So passing yourself off as somebody small, could be dangerous. So, yep. All right. So the average height of a halfling is 3 feet tall. So you're getting to 4 feet. So he can be a dwarf. Uh, a brotor. No. No. So yeah. So that's Brotor. So Brotor has been a hostile dwarf in the past who you suspect has been working with the cultists, due to finding him at not the haunted house, sorry, the abandoned house where you fought the flame spirit, and also encountering him in. You encountered him in the mine at that point as well, and then found out that he'd sort of lied about what had happened. That was like way early in your adventure there, so it could be plausible. Yeah. Okay. So you walk up, the cultist immediately sort of draws his sword and sort of looks at you. It's like, hey, so like, state your name now. You got the hood over your face. He goes, nah, show you. He goes, yeah, it's a Kiwi dwarf. I've come here to build you a dick. um, and cultist like, Brotor, what? Ah, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be inside. What are you doing outside? I'll get you to make a deception check. 14. Sort of looking, he takes a step back. He goes, I really swear that I saw you inside. Who were you speaking to inside? Yeah. Nobody comes out of this way. They only go in. Huh? You sort of take it back. You say, oh, yeah, whatever. Just get in. All right. Oh, but no, no. We didn't know you had mates. What are you talking about? Uh, no. He looks somewhat disgusted. He's just piss off. Get inside. No, no, just no, no. It's just the annoying pest behind the wall. You've seen him run around. It's just annoying. He, he suddenly he starts. You were sooking about them yesterday. Look, how drunk are you? Little balls with eyes. I was just. Oh, wait, Bottle does not talk like that. You sure you're all right? No. Yeah. You go to walk forward and you walk into the wall. Yeah, you like hit it. Doesn't. Sorry. You walk into the wall. Because of your drunk sort of demeanor and such. You've walked up and you've walked into the wall. You take a step back and you've realised you're 5 feet to the right of where you thought you were. Yeah, and you pass through. Um, Oh, make an attack roll. So, so the guy is outside. He's leaning up against the wall. So if you're walking through, you're well and truly out of reach. He's leaning up against. He's using the wall to support him. All right. Make an attack roll. Um. Yes. Now. All right. Roll damage. You roll. Yeah. Just roll your damage again. Yep. Yep. All right. That's a hit. Three, 21. Yeah, 18. So 21 damage. So you walk into the cave, you just stumble back out, and you completely eviscerate him with both weapons. You almost like just tear at his flesh. He's just completely unsuspected. And he just looks at horror. He just watches himself get torn, asunder from your blades. He's just trying to put everything back together as he lets out this scream, which quickly dies down as he loses his air, and and chokes on the blood and falls over. And he just sort of gives out. He gives out 50 XP split amongst four people. Technically five because Liam's also there. So you start checking his pockets and you notice a colour of purple shimmer out across you. And can I get you to make a wisdom save, please? 4. You are now terrified. The body in front of you looks like all the blood is just starting to come up at your face, and you just drop and bolt and run away as fast as you can. Away. Away from the cave. Any direction away. So, yeah, you see him run past me, but you also see you guys standing back who are sort of watching all of this. You see this almost like a purple sort of ray or beam just sort of come out from the illusion and just shadow over the top of Dodric. And then you just watch his demeanor completely change as he drops everything. Dodric, you drop your weapons and you just bolt. I'm assuming when you were going through his stuff, like you just gently put the weapons on the ground beside you as you rifle his stuff, intended to pick them back up again. And then you just left them where they are and you bolted away. Yes. Yeah, yeah. He's just sort of coming back down the path towards you guys. Do you? You better use that for next time. Yes. Because I just told you you are scared and you ran. Sorry. um, it, yeah, Dodric, as you are running, you pretty much catch back up to where everybody else is, and the visage that had frightened you has worn off. And you sort of catch yourself, your heart's racing, you're pounding, so your breath, you're just inhaling, exhaling incredibly quick. And then you sort of catch your breath, realize what's just happened, and recompose yourself a little bit. Okay. You, you, you did not see any. physical being that did this. It just looked like it came out of the illusionary wall. Yes, he did not. Yes, no, I've never heard of an illusionary magic. Fearing people. No, no, that doesn't seem right. Lefner definitely saw this purple beam emit out of the illusionary wall. Sorry. Jug's referring to a comment that the cultist made is that people only come in this way. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay, you head back over. And yeah, you check his pockets, and he has a small green vial. Hmm. Yeah, so you just uncork it and have a quick taste. Yep. This is poison. So add a poison. I think it's called a basic vial to your inventory. Yep. All right. Okay. Marching order. You find a decently sized rock, you pick it up and just piff it through, and it disappears, and you hear it hit the ground on the other side and skitter along. It sounded like it hit something sort of. No. This is not a detail I was prepared with. Um, no, it would be opaque. No. That is, he has got the one. Now, just so I don't want to get caught on this, James, is there a particular reason why you wanted to check for illusion versus opaque? Just in case I've missed a ruling in some regard. Okay. Yeah, no, it's opaque. You cannot. It does not let light in or out. Yes. So when you enter in, it is darkness. So now I have a map for this. So now as you enter into the cave or into the cave entrance, you don't immediately see. There's nothing moving in front of you. The pathway is wide enough for a wagon to go down. Um, Now, as it just sort of immediately descends straight away, and it descends rather sort of violently, and then sort of curves off to the right, and then back towards the to the left, and you begin following down there. Now, if I so now hopefully this works. Yeah. Now, sorry, I need to just find where the last map with all your tokens was. Yeah, I've got one. I'm just waiting for. I think roll 20 is frozen on me. Oh, actually, no. It hasn't frozen. I'm just doing the wrong thing because I'm a giant noob. Have you guys got the agency to be able to move all of your tokens? Now, it is in right angles. That's just because we're working with squares. But the tunnel itself is rather curvy. So don't think, how does a wagon turn right angles? Um, it's just that I didn't want to draw circles in this case, just so it's easier to move your tokens and such around. I will need to redraw it because the walls don't quite line up to the squares, but assume that they're 2 squares wide. Now, this place is immediately cold. As you descend down, it does get colder, but it does start to warm up a little bit as you descend further down. The ceiling is not overly high. In fact, you know, a chug, if you were to jump, you could probably scratch the top. Um, you would you're wondering how does the cart get down here? Now, as you look at the sides of the walls, you can see so there's support beams which hold up the ceiling because this has been sort of mined out, and you can see along the edges of the beams, the vertical beams, they've been smashed by the cartwheels and such as they've gone down. So it's been a tight fit. Okay. You can hear me? Yep. Yep. So you poke your head out, and the ground starts to level out. And I think what your dark vision is 30 feet, and you can see up to 60 feet, right? Yeah, but it's low light for the first 30, and then dim light for the next 30. I'm pretty sure. Hey. Okay, so it's just straight 60. I thought it got darker as it went away. Okay. Yeah, which is the 30 and 60. Yep. So I should hide it. Oh, I might as well leave it revealed now that you've seen it. Yeah, but it's hard to see the further you get away. So you can essentially you look down the corridor and it's long before it tapers off into darkness. Okay. Is it? Ah, yes, of course. All right. So how long is the duration? Okay. Is it a radius around you or is it a radius on the ground? A point you choose within range. Okay. So are you centering it at the very end? Sorry. Yes. Yep. Okay. Um, and sorry, what's the radius around that? So about that. Our radius is 20. Did you say? Ah, yep. Yeah. Cool. All right. Very good. Okay. Make a perception check. 17. No, not in this particular space. As you look around. Hey. Oh, sorry, I did the wrong. Liam should be there too. Sorry, I will find a. Just assume he's there with you guys. Um, yeah, he's got a name. His name on mine. Yep. If I go settings, name, so delete it away and put it back. Save. Just to remind me that you're concentrating, if that's okay. All right, so you guys have moved a few squares. Um, so, all right. So as you sort of go, start moving towards. Actually, I probably should have done that more naturally. So you, given where you are. All right, let's do that. Sorry, I've not seen that part as of yet. All right, so you're close enough. You can see this space here. So you enter into a small natural chamber. You can see two wagons with cages um, pushed up against the wall. You can see people inside of these cages. They're small enough to fit one person each. However, they are motionless. There is also a stack of cages immediately to your right as you approach. And again, the inhabitants inside lay motionless and slumped at the bottom of them. Inspecting these cages and looking at each of the people inside um, reveals them hurt and beaten. They're scratched and clothes and such are all torn. There's cages on the carts. Yep. Yes. Get you to make a medicine check. Okay. Get you to make one too. 15. Yes. They're alive. They're gently breathing in the bottom of the cage. No. This space is devoid of movement. Correct. You wait a moment. You don't get a response. It's as if they haven't heard you. Yep. They just lay motionless. Get you to make an Arcana check. Now, Arcana check is not to detect magic. So, but in this case, you would know the effects of some. Now, it's going to be a high difficulty to see this. 21. You've seen this magic before. These people look like they've been magically cast asleep. Asleep. So no, you and your background, not in this particular adventure, but you as a um, person who practices magic has seen this before. He wants up and goes, oh, yes, yes, I agree. Yes, in terms of, he asked me how it's cast on them, what spell has been used, or how do we wake them? What is? Um, I would need to know how it was casted. I'm sorry, but I don't know the magic that was used here. Typically, normal magic only lasts a few minutes, but these people, they look like dead. Clearly, this is more powerful. I don't think so, no. If you think about it in the circumstances that they've been brought here and they're still asleep, no, I don't think a couple of loud sounds will wake these ones. Yep, yep. So you're trying to pick the locks of the cages? Yep. These locks look sophisticated. They're not the typical crude locks that you've seen before. These are a bit harder. Previously, the other ones just had a single locking mechanism which sort of let it spring forward. These are thicker and more solid, and they're quite a deep lock. You can still do it, but could be a little bit more work. So I get you to get you to make a dexterity check with your proficiency with these tools. You got 19? Yep. Cool. It takes you a few goes and you sort of swear under your breath as you almost have it a couple of times and then all the pins just drop again. But you do get it to swing open. Oh, to unlock, and then you can pull the lock off one of the cages. Sorry, in terms of time spent, you were there for about 5-10 minutes just working at this lock. There will be an XP reward, yes. We'll, we'll do it at the end. Sorry? The distance? Probably enough just to put your arm through, but that's it. Actually, probably enough for Dodrick to put his arm through. Otherwise, your fingers and such are basically being caught. You maybe put a wrist, but that's as far as you would get. Okay, make a strength check. 12. You reef, and as you pull, and you can start to hear the splintering of the wooden handle of the pickaxe, and the next thing, snap, and the handle just snaps off from the axe. So it's not corpses; they're actually rocks. So it is blocked on the east side. There is, however, a staircase leading to the north. Hey? Okay. Um, make a strength check. Yeah, if you're both doing it. Yep. Hey? So, you both go to pick at these rocks, and Chug, you swing this huge swing. Just as one, you step forward with your left foot and do a huge swing, yet your axe does not connect with anything, and it swings down and cracks the ground. One, you just barely miss your toe with the axe. The rocks disappear through it. Get to make a stealth check. 22. You move through the rocks. Now, as you're sort of moving through the rocky illusion, it is thick and opaque. There is no light and you cannot see past the illusion. However, after a good 5-10 feet, you emerge on the other side right into a wall. Yep. Yep. 2 seconds. So as you get up to where the beam is, you walk past it and poke your head around. Just as you feel your foot depress into the floor, you look down and you see your foot disappearing into yet another illusion, and you hear a mechanical snap. You quickly look up and you can see a spiked wall, grated wall, immediately swing towards you and come flying towards your face. Can I get you to make a dexterity save, please? It's bullshit. 10. You try and leap out of the way, but it is futile as this metal grate, ladled with spikes, smashes into you. You brace with your shoulder and cry out in pain as these spikes depress into your skin and then smash you up against the east side of the wall. You take 7 piercing damage, which is actually really poor because I got, you know, 4d6 and I roll a fucking 7. I guess he's lucky. It's 4d6. Yep. Yeah. Actually, the trap has you pinned up against the wall for the moment. So, to give you the idea of what's happened, is that the trap was on around the corner and it was braced, and so it's flung and just swung around using where's my pointer tool? What do you press to do a thing? Yeah, what's that one? Left click. So it's using that spot there as a hinge. So it's swung almost a full 270 degrees as it's flung around. And yeah, so it's finished with you smashed up against the wall. Now, you other guys on the other side, you've heard the almighty snap and the crank of a mechanical winch, and then a smash and a cry out in pain. Alright. You run through the illusion again, black. You bounce off some of the walls and such. You come out the other end, just narrowly running yourself into the other side of the wall, and you can see a Doderic pinned inside a metal grate, blood just sort of peering around, and he seems to be almost stuck between the spikes, like he's got a couple in his hip and such. Because he's so small, he sort of just fit neatly inside it, and he's just sort of stuck there. He's like, help. Okay. Liam is he sort of pulls against you, not wanting, but he reluctantly goes with you. Um, you now all appear on the other side of the wall, and you can see Doderick comedically pinned behind the, or in between the spikes. It's imagine just one side of the metal cage where the prisoners are, but bigger to encompass that whole wall, and then spikes on one side of it. Okay, make a strength check. Make a strength check with advantage. 11. So as you sort of pull, it takes a bit of quite a lot of effort to try and wrench it free, but when it does, it lets go, and then the spring mechanism seems to be gone, and it now sort of freely spins. Uh, as it let go, you notice the spikes were actually dug deep into the rock wall and it actually pinned the metal gate into the side of the cave. And once you've reached it free, it just sort of freely spun. Dodrick, you just sort of drop to the ground. You feel the spikes just sort of come back out of you gently, but yeah, it gives you a wince of pain, but nothing you can't handle. Relief. No, no. Yes. So are you actually checking to see if the mechanism has broken? Yes. All right. So you go around the corner. You walk around the edge of the grate there. I want that tool, and you can see to there. And you walk around the grate, and you can see that yes, the mechanism. You can you inspect it. Actually, I'll get you to make an investigation check, please. 12. You have a look. You can't see anything like immediately obvious that has actually broken. Um, and you do actually think that if it was to be reset, it may go off a second time. As in, take the wall and angle it in a different direction. Um, you can you make an investigation on the false floor? Okay. So you have a look, and what you can see just by putting your foot down and then pressing. So your foot depresses about an ankle's depth into the floor, and then you can feel the button, I suppose, sort of shift underneath your weight. By keeping your foot there, you drag it left and right to try and find the boundaries, and you can find a full 1 foot width of um, that this illusion sort of covers, and it goes from completely left to right across the entire sort of width of the cave tunnel, but it's 1 foot deep. Looking around though, you're unsure how this could actually be moved because it's built into the floor and then disguised. I think if you get outside of 120 feet or something like that, that it disappears, or it's definitely after three casts of it, it disappears. Yep. So, can you just repeat what you're wanting to do with prestidigitation? You can see a tessellating pattern with the cave floor, like it repeats itself going from left to right. Um, it's very faint, but now that you're looking straight at it, it's hard to not notice it. Yeah. Yes. So sorry. So the pattern is the same color and the same makeup of your cave floor, but if you notice, like a texture pattern that you get in your video games or whatnot, it's like that. So it's almost like a 1 foot by 1 foot square of a repeating pattern from right to left the whole way along. Yeah, I think you need a minor illusion spell to do that. What is your passive perceptions? All of you. No, perception, not investigation. Yeah, 11. So one and Lefter, you notice on the ground now that everyone's sort of attention is deviating away from the trap, and you can see heavy like footprints and marks in the ground where something big has moved across. Possibly. You emerge. 60 ogres in war armor look at you and smash you to a pulp. You walk into the rocks and bump into them. No. All right. you're walking through these, yes? So, describe how you go through this illusion. Do you have a marching order, or you're just sort of pushing each other to try and get to the front? All right, left and start. Okay, I'll get you to make a stealth check, please. Um, Actually, yeah, everybody. Chug with this disadvantage. No, just chug. It's still a critical fail. Uh, Chug, you were third. Yeah. So, Doderick, you take the lead and you start moving very, very carefully through the illusion. You don't put your arms up in case that might give you away. So, your arms by your side, walking forward, hoping to either bump into a bit of wall or perhaps your head might protrude before your leg. One, you carefully keep your hand on Doderick's shoulder and follow him. And Chug, you attempt to do the same, except for your hand slips off one. You quickly panic, and you try and find him, and you trip and fall on top of one and on top of Doderick in a loud crash with your armor. And the audible sound of everybody's surprise and then your armor crashing down on top of everybody is loud. And you hear, "What was that noise? You there, check it." And now you hear thud, thud, thud. You're inside the rocks. It is opaque. You cannot see a thing. You see you're retreating back. Okay. Lefter, you haven't quite entered the illusion yet. You just watched the Chug fall, almost his ankle just sort of trip and fall forward. What are you doing? Oh, you heard it. You heard it. Yep. Uh, I'll actually get you to make a perception check. You definitely heard voices. Nine. You heard the noises. The noise of the voice. I'm going to say you didn't quite hear what was exactly said. However, you can piece together that that sound has been heard by somebody else, and you're not supposed to be where you are. Okay. So one, are you like belly sucking up against the wall like Joe? Correct. So so Chug, you're in the rocks as well. So it is a little bit. I will put you guys a little bit deeper in, so you're all sort of concealed there. Okay. So you hear thud, 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 thud. And it just gets louder and heavier, and the ground starts to vibrate a little bit. One, you feel the leg of what you think to be the leg, and it brushes up against you, and you catch the metal edging of its armor as it walks past. Dodrick, underneath you, you hear the thud, thud, thud. Chug, can I get you to make another stealth check for me, please? Actually, sorry, dexterity check with disadvantage would be the correct one. Oh, sorry, he's on the phone. Yeah, I saw that they have. I have not looked at what is available though. But it sounds pretty cool. Yeah. A swarm, like a swarm of bees or a swarm of some sort of insect. So you're like the queen bee, and you tell them what to do, and they'll. Um, what's it's the game on the Wii U? I'm not sure if you ever played that. The Wonderful 101, where all the people sort of come together and they make the hand, or they turn into a gun, or something like that. And they turn themselves into inanimate objects to achieve a task. Is it that sort of thing? That's cool. So it's an extra long jump. Yep. Fuzzy might be up for a bit. That that's almost what I'm thinking. That's a nice little cliffhanger too. Yeah, having your face smashed into the wall. Oh yeah, I gotta put Liam there. I should do that now, actually. Yeah. That's cool. Alright, so I have given you token Liam, and each of you guys can control his token, and you can move him around. I hope. Can you see his name? I can't see his name. Yeah. I can see everybody else's name, but I'm not sure what's going on with his. Ah, okay. We're just saying it could be a good spot to stop if you wanted to. Oh, quick battles, no, yeah. Yeah, dexterity check with disadvantage, please. With disadvantage. So, whatever this is stomping through and narrowly misses you one. Your heart's just thudding, like hoping not to be caught out. However, Chug, you sort of relax a bit and sort of come off the wall, and you just feel this almighty metal leg just crash into you, and then trip over the top of you, and you hear "Roar!" It just sort of tumbles out. Lefner, you see the head of one of these ogres in Warplate come emerge from outside of the illusion and come crashing down onto the ground as Chug seems to have tripped him over. Now, Chug, can you take? Now, so the ogre has fallen on Chug. So, Chug, can you take 6 bludgeoning damage as the ogre steps on you and then trips over you? And he actually clashed, yeah, come crashing down on top of you. And Lefner, can you fire an Eldritch Blast that you had ready, please? Make an attack roll. That's a hit. I'll get you to roll damage. Nice. So as the ogre sort of comes down, you're ready. The head just sort of comes out, and you just fire it off, and it hits him smash in the face. And you watch, as the head sort of recoils a little bit, and then smashes onto the ground. And because you just sort of hit him mid fall, he actually lands more on his head, or so his head took more of the fall than the rest of him. Um, and you hear an almighty crunch and crack as it hits the ground. Um, you hear another voice behind. Oh, yeah. He is prone. So he's on his way down. So, yeah, there's no disadvantage on the attack roll in that regard. Not quite. But you and the ogre are now prone. Dodric, do you take an action here? Mm-hmm. Correct. Uh, you can, yes. But this would be after the surprise round, in that sense. Mm-hmm. Okay. In this case, you're treated as blinded, which is an attack roll at disadvantage. I know that you sort of feel confident, but you are, for all game rules, blinded here. Okay. One, do you do anything? All right. So I'll get you all to make initiation roll, please. Jesus. Can someone please make a roll for Liam? How do they not have a symbol for somebody lying down? Best I can think of is that one. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to quickly find a sheet for Liam. Sorry. Yes, it is effectively half in, half out. Now, in terms of his spell card, I'll actually do a stat block up for him for you for next week. But that's just some copy pasted text for now. Effectively, Liam just has a couple of second level spell slots. Okay, all right. Lefter. Actually, sorry, I've got a roll for the bad dudes. Jesus. Okay. Just the rolls that I got were massive, as all of yours were too. Lefter, you're first up. What do you do? Now, Ogre is prone. Range attacks on prone targets, even as big as the Ogre, are disadvantage. Yes. um, no, you haven't established that yet. He's. I know this ogre looks like he's wielding a tree stump, and he is naked. However, he is decorated in metal armor. Um, left nut, you can see what looks to be some sort of metal club or mace. Yep. No. You would to do the surprise. You would have had to have done it as you went by. Now that you're sort of coming out to emerge and see what's going on, like that takes more than just a few seconds, which would be the surprise turn. I'll still give you something, yeah. But in terms, sorry, the way that my thought process went was I allowed him to walk by you, but you were huffing and keeping yourself stuck. Really, I probably should have just let that have been your go on the first round of combat because you were trying to avoid being detected. So I thought, well, since you said I want to go out and see him and then stab him, so, okay, I'll let you move on the first turn. That was the way I had done that thought. Whereas Lefner did actually have the spell ready and prepared as he sort of appeared, and I gave Dodric the opportunity to jump down off the roof as he went under him. Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's lying face down on the ground. Oh, yeah, he's prone. He's fallen on his face. So he's fallen forward because he's tripped over. Ah, sorry. Uh, that would be a no. Just check. Yeah. If you're trying to do cantrips and little things that are very precise and finicky, even though there is no attack roll, I will get you to do some sort of skill roll that would meet the challenge or whatnot. Like if you're trying to control flames, something that's 40 feet away, like trying to thread flame through a needle, it sort of makes sense that you would do it some sort of a skill check to even practice that sort of magic at that skill level and level of finesse. I think. If you think that that should be the other way, I'm happy to hear it. But that would be the way that I'd be generating that. So, what did you get for your attack roll? That's a hit. Roll damage. 8. Cool. You fire off another Eldritch Blast and hit him further on his face. 1. You're up. Make an attack roll. Now you get if now. How do you stab? Are you stabbing because he's half in the illusion? Are you staying in the illusion? Are you merging? Yes. Okay. All right. So you're staying in the illusion. Now, it is disadvantage for being blinded. However, it is advantage for attacking a melee attack on a prone target. So just a straight roll, please. um, so you you yeah get your back off the wall and you go to walk forward. You get your sword ready, and then right as you're unsheathing your sword, you trip a little bit on his leg and you fumble. It is a sword that you're using, yeah. Yeah. You fumble one of your short swords and drop it on the ground. Yes. Straight roll. Yep. Make an attack roll again. You get the plus to hit. You don't get the damage modifier from um, the strength or whatnot of the damage. Correct. 8. You have a swing. You try and drive your sword down, but you just miss the outside of his leg. You sort of hit his armor, and it just sort of bounces and slides down with it, just a little bit off center. Chug, you're up. Uh, yeah, he's sort of laying on you a little bit, so you've sort of like got to push him and try and get yourself up. Actually, I'll get you to make a strength check as you try and pull yourself free. 14. Yep. Takes you like you give it a good effort, and you manage to pull yourself out from underneath him, and you stand up. So, are you emerging outside of the illusion, or are you staying in the illusion? Okay. Straight attack roll. 13. Just hit. Roll damage. 13. With your massive mace, you just go, you just come down. You hear this crack and dint into the armor as you drive it into it. You hear the ogre like wince out in pain as you sort of crack him with it. So, sorry, 14 damage. 13. Cool. Doderick, you're up. Okay. So you poke your head out and you can see an ogre laying face first in the dirt underneath you. Make an attack roll with advantage. All right. Roll your critical strike. Sneak attack damage, double damage on the weapon. It's supposed to be big and scary. You guys just treat him like freaking paper mache. It's just awful. I got it to do a dexterity check to see if it held its footing, and it rolled like a 3. So down it went. Oh. Um, yep, roll damage. So you land on top of him, and with both swords, you just drive them in between the back of his helmet and his metal armor, yeah, of the top of his armor, and you feel them go deep. They hit something hard, and you feel something snap underneath your swords. You're pretty sure you've got his spinal cord, and you rip the blades back out. Blood's gushing, and the body just goes limp and silent. Oh, he appears to be very dead. um, Whoever is controlling Liam, can I get you to roll a d20, please? 6. Okay. Um, Sorry, I get tears in a moment. I better find the right die. Lefter, can you make a wisdom check, please?
Sorry.
Make a wisdom save, sorry.
He got a 2. I don't know what his modifier.
No. So what did you get for your wisdom save?
It was a 2 for.
Okay.
I don't know what his modifier is.
Yeah. So upon seeing Dodric land on the ground, on top of you, over his shoulder and out of the illusion, a purple beam lights up on top of you, and suddenly you have this horrifying visage of demons and such sort of in your mind, and you are just absolutely fearful. Now, do you have advantage on fear saving throws like Dodric does?
Well, this is Liam you're talking about. This.
No, this is you.
Oh, you said roll the wisdom save for Liam.
No, I said for you to roll a wisdom save for you. The d20 on himself before was just to see the turn order because he's got an equal initiation with something else.
Oh, okay. All right. So you want me to?
Yes. Sorry. All right.
So wisdom save plus, I guess.
Yep. So yeah, but you don't have advantage against fear.
Where would I find it?
It'd be on your saves, I think, your conditions.
Management against being charmed and magic can't move me.
Ah, okay. Um, Now, you didn't use your movement in your turn, so I'd like you to now use your full movement to get as far away from the illusion as you possibly can. Actually, it could have been really bad.
Well, I'm worried because if I'm exiting this wall again, do I trigger another illusion?
Nothing else happens. Now, you hear, check out that noise. And I'll get each of you to make a perception check, please. Except for you, Lefter, but you can make one for Liam. 10?
13, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yep. Okay. You don't learn any new information there. Now, Dodric, can you make a strength saving throw, please? 12? A yellow beam, it comes out of the illusion and hits you with a hard force, and you keep yourself locked in place, but you are very nearly knocked off your feet. As this happens, you hear boom, 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 and so that ogre is deceased. Just for now, I'll keep him there, but I'm just going to move him to my GM layer just to sort of clean stuff up. Now, if I do that, can you see that? If I do that. Ah, that's good. That's really cool. Okay. So I just found out I can measure stuff without you guys being able to see it. So I'm happy with that. Because I thought if you could see my arrow coming out of the fog, you could start to discern just how deep the space is. Yeah, but it doesn't take the full space. It does throw you off a bit. It is very long. Okay, so Doderick, I gave you prone. What did I give you prone for? You're not prone. 1 is good. That is good. Okay, so sorry, I lost where I was. One, you feel boom, 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 and then it sort of stops, and you sort of hear some sort of banging against metal and such, and then boom, boom, and it starts to get louder and louder. Whatever it is, it's just on the other side of the illusion. It is now Liam's turn.
So he has a few spells, but he can't really do anything because he can't see this new ogre, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I think readying up a whole person will be his
Yeah. Sorry, just repeat that again. So you're reading up whole person?
Yeah, Liam is readying up a whole person.
Okay. Alright, no worries. So that hooks us back to Lefter. Just it. Now, as you sort of come back to your... Actually, no, you need to move your full 30 feet away again.
Am I still feared?
At the moment, yes.
Wouldn't I make another attempt at a save?
I don't think it says that. So, no. Okay, so you can't willingly move closer, so you don't have to move away.
So I could be
feared in place?
You could be. So you can wind yourself back. Apologies. I thought you had to I thought you had to use your movement to get as far away as you could.
Okay. All right. Well, then, so this is my original spot.
It says that you're frightened. So it might be different to fear, but a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, while the source of its fear is within your line of sight. So the source that I've dictated in this case is sort of a visage within your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And the creature, so you can't willingly move closer to the source. So I'll just keep you locked in place for the moment.
Okay. All right. So I'm still shaking in my boots. Maybe a little bit of wee is coming out.
So one, it's your turn. So I think I've done this wrong, and I'll explain after.
That's all right.
We'll go forward. But yeah.
So where is it in relation to me?
Where is what?
Like I had the thumping before.
It's
so you did on the other side.
It's 5, maybe 10 feet to to the east.
One sec. Do I need to see it? I need to be able to see it. Fuck. All right. I prepare some I pick up my sword. Does that take an action?
No,
That's
you
your
got one
free
free action, so you can.
Cool.
Now,
I pick
however,
it up.
your sword is in the illusion. You can't see. You will have,
God damn it.
You will have to search for it, which will be your action. If you could see
Search
it,
the
no
room.
worries. Because you're unsure where it is, and there's an ogre leg in front of you. Actually, I'll bring that
Right.
ogre back just so you can sort of see what you're sort of climbing over, because he's quite big. But yeah.
All right. I switch my sword, the other one, to my main hand, and I prepare to cast Vicious Mockery if anything comes close.
Okay. Joe, your turn.
I was gonna crouch down and sort of allow the next ogre to trip over me, but the fact that there's another body there, it'll probably trip over itself. So I'm gonna rinse and repeat and just go back to the wall, ready up as close to the wall as I can.
Okay.
And I will not do anything further. Actually, can I prepare an attack to attack something when it walks?
Yeah. Yep. Now you are blinded, and this goes the same for you as well, one. But you will have disadvantage on the attack roll.
Wait, so if I can't see it, but I know exactly where it is, will I be allowed to essentially verbally assault something?
If the
The
spell,
spell says I have to see it.
then that would be you wouldn't be able to use it. So if you
Shit.
wanted to change your action, go for it.
Yep, I run out towards where the other guys are.
Okay. And then what? Ready the same action?
Yeah, exactly the same, except I'm just out a bit.
Yep.
And I'll like, "Rrr,"
Yep, that's fine.
knowing that in that narrow passageway, my sword is slightly jutting upwards, ready to cut open an ogre's foot. Because that's how I dropped it intentionally.
Cool.
By the way, I dropped concentration on the other spell.
All right, thanks.
Yep, I'll stick with what I was gonna do. I'll attack the next thing that walks.
No worries. Dodrick, what are you going to do?
So can we see the ogre? He's through the
It's through the
illusion.
No.
Nobody's seen it. It's not confirmed to be an ogre. Just saying.
Okay. I wanna run up onto the roof and I wanna hide like in the illusion, but just poke like the very bottom part of my head through so I can see what might.
Okay. So you move forward. You move forward enough that you can see the outside area.
That's a nice thing that I can't see.
Sorry, I will move the map
It's okay.
a little bit as well.
I'm happy seeing it.
Oh, sorry, I'm just doing it for the camera as well. All right. So what you see down below, first thing catches your eye is the massive ogre, which is starting to tower towards where you guys are at. What you also see to the north of the ogre is something that surprises you. It looks like a little green soccer ball with tentacle eyes coming out of it.
Is it cute?
I suppose it could be. It's got a tongue that's sort of lashing around and some little teeth, but it's sort of zipping around. It's actually pretty frantic.
So it's moving a lot on the floor.
It moves.
Not
very,
sit.
It moves a lot. It moves very quickly. It does not sit still. What you
The area that it's moving in, how big would that be compared to the size of the ogre?
Oh, so it's still at the moment, but you're sort of at, like, in the instant that you come out, it's just moving very, very quickly. Probably in the direction, I'll say, in the direction towards you. Okay, it's not sort of like doing donuts or zipping around. Like, you don't get to watch it for that long, so to speak, but it is sort of moving quite quickly.
So I want to cast a minor illusion of a dwarf stepping out of the rock and standing directly on top of that little thing.
What's on top of the little thing? So, sorry, what you also see is the minecart track. You see a wooden barrier, so I suppose signaling the end of the track. To the south, you see the sort of an exit of this chamber, but it ascends upwards. And you also see several cages of more sleeping citizens.
So my intention is kind of like the ogre is walking towards this illusion.
Yes.
There's this little thing with tentacles sitting on the ground next to the illusion. I figure if I have like an illusion of a dwarf step directly over this little squidgy thing, maybe the ogre will be dumb enough to just smack its club down on the same area and kill the little thing.
All right, let's do it. I'll get you to make a deception check for your illusion. As this dwarf. Now, is the dwarf Brotor, or is the dwarf just a dwarf?
Just a dwarf.
Okay. You should make deception check, please.
$13.
What skill is deception?
My skill is +4. It's charisma.
It's charisma. Thanks. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. So can you describe the action that your illusion takes?
He just kind of like steps out of the illusion and looks up at the ogre, just looking dumb. Just kind of steps out directly on top of the little squidgy thing, looks up at him, and just kind of like looks at him like a dumb dwarf.
Okay. Now, the ogre sort of sees you, but you have to wait until its action. And so the turn order will be important here. So, can I get... And so you know that I'm not cheating. Actually, no. We'll do... Let me get a different color die.
He's gone.
I'm back. Alright, I have blue for this because we have a three-way tie for the turn here.
I'm first.
Liam, the ogre, and the squishy soccer ball thing all have a 15. So the blue one will be the squishy soccer ball, red will be the ogre, and James, can you roll for Liam?
Oh, I got the best roll. I got a nat 1.
Oh, the ogre also got a nat 1. So if I can make, not sure if I can, you can see.
I believe you.
Yeah, sorry. So the squishy thing gets to move first.
Is he a mini beholder? He looks like a mini beholder.
So the squishy thing is going to use his movement. Sorry, I'm just double checking his movement. Oh, what? That is so cool. All right. I didn't realize he could do this, so he's going to do it. Having seen the illusion come out, what? What? Gonna go that way. He moves back a little bit, but he zooms straight up to the top of the chamber roof. Just flies, just straight up there. And then he
He's probably gonna do a Kamehameha wave or some shit.
The first one is a blue beam that appears from the eye of one of its little eye stalks. Straight across the dwarf illusion, and all these icicle spikes just erupt out of it and just sort of spear and splinter this illusion. And the second one is a green beam. Again, firing straight at the dwarf, and this time it goes and it causes the illusion to sort of shimmer and reveal itself, I suppose, in the illusion. Now, if the illusion is attacked, does anything happen to it? Or is it just that the bearer becomes aware that it is?
If the creature uses its action to examine the sound or image, the creature can determine that it is an illusion with a successful intelligence investigation check against your
Okay.
spell save DC.
So it
If a
hasn't done an
creature
intelligence check, it's just
So-
shot through things. And then you hear...
It says physical interaction with the image revealed it to be an illusion because things can pass
Yeah.
through it.
Yes, okay. So it knows, and then it goes, hee 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 hee, check out that noise. And Dodrick, I'll get you to make a perception check with advantage this time.
$20, not natural.
20. You know that this thing is now imitating sounds and perfectly recreating them. You've heard this sound now 3 times. And it's pitched for perfect each time.
He's the thing that was annoying the guard out the front.
It's a parrot.
Well, before I finish my turn, I retract my head back into the illusion, so I should be hidden, and I
yeah.
sort of hide up in the corner.
Yep, that's fine, because I've taken the gazer turn. So, yep, you can sort of hide back in there, so move yourself. The ogre, however, was too stupid to realise what just happened at all, and continues to charge through the illusionary space. And so, Chug, he gets to you, so can you do your attack, please, with disadvantage?
Uh, 10.
10?
I'll be back in a minute.
No worries. You swing your mace as you hear it go by, and it goes and just somehow misses. The ogre emerges out the other side, sees one, and then immediately tries to drop its heavy mace on top of you.
Can I get my prepared
yes,
attack?
Yes, do yours. Apologies. Go for it.
I gotta remember what it is. It is a vicious mockery. Hits save 14.
What's the save?
14 wisdom.
I believe that is a fail. Wisdom, yep, 10.
Cool. It takes 1d4 psychic damage, and it has disadvantage on the next attack roll. It makes for its next.
Okay.
It takes one of the damages, and I called it an ugly ogre that even its mother would be ashamed of.
Oh. It's stupid, but it understood that. It got a 16 to hit
On who?
on you.
Did it have disadvantage?
It
Doesn't
rolled.
Liam cast hold person?
Did Liam have a held action as well?
Yep.
All right, let's do that. But yes, it rolled a 10 and a 17, and it has +6.
This is gonna hurt. Did the whole person happen?
I'm waiting for James.
Is hold I don't know what the spell is because you've just copied and pasted.
Okay, so I'll.
And let me manage spells. Can I do a search? Hold person. Do I actually know that? Oh, I know that spell. God, I'm an idiot. So it is a attack save, Wisdom 13. So I think that's a Wisdom saving throw, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's no restriction on the size.
Choose a humanoid you can see within range. The target must succeed. Saving throw will be paralyzed on success. The spell ends. Yeah, it doesn't have any restrictions on it I can see except a range of 60.
So, just so you know, Liam's spell DC for this game. So find him. Shit. So, spell DC is 13, and he has +5 to hit with spell attacks.
Yeah, so isn't it though that the monster has to do a Wisdom saving throw?
And he failed, so he is actually paralyzed. So I'm going to
Yep.
wind him back. So he's just appeared. I'll put him just forward of the other one. So he got a little bit forward before the spell hit him. But he is now paralyzed.
So he doesn't attack one.
No, he doesn't. No, he didn't.
Ah,
I reckon the concentration one that I gave one just before is actually probably the closer paralyzed symbol. So there we go. He's paralyzed. Now, paralyzed, I don't think anything really special sort of happens. So, paralyzed creature is incapacitated. It cannot move or speak. Creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls against him have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet. So that's actually pretty strong.
me.
Lefter, it's your turn, and this time the fear is gone.
Yay. Okay. So he's being held, but he's not prone, yeah? Just to
No, he's
clarify.
standing in his position as he was running when he emerged out of the illusion.
Okay.
Just go take
Well, I'm going to aim a blast square at his face.
I'll put one in my work.
Eldritch blast, that is.
Sorry, I missed that. What'd you say?
Eldritch blast then at his face.
Okay.
And do I have advantage?
You do. It says all attack rolls.
Okay. 24.
That is a hit. Roll damage.
Is there any bonuses to the damage because of the whole person or no?
You have to be within 5 feet, and I think is it melee attacks or all attacks?
Well, I'm not in 5 feet, and that's fine. So it's 10.
Yeah. So it is any attack within 5.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm just going to smack him for the 10 damage.
Done. You doing anything else?
I have no bonus actions I can do, and I'm going to stand still.
Cool. 1, you're up.
So fuck it. I can't really do much. I still don't have my crossbow. Yeah, I might just try and stab him in the throat. No, I'll back up a step and cast the same spell. Just to try and keep him on disadvantage so I don't die.
Okay.
Yeah, so dodge again. Gotta get a 14 wisdom.
Careless.
Okay.
Wow.
I was just trying to work that out.
I see,
So
paralyzed.
he's paralyzed, yeah. So you get, that's what I was
Oh,
saying
fuck that.
before. If you attack him in melee range, it's an automatic crit
All right, I'm in.
with advantage.
I'm gonna stab him in the gut.
All right, roll attack with advantage.
5 and 1. 9. That's it. 9.
You miss.
Like,
Oh, you must be just like trembling with fear with this big ogre right in front of you, and you just sort of shit the bed. You're try and swing at it. Nah, no good.
Was that even with the advantage?
Yeah, you got a 1 to not 1 to
Yeah.
5.
Oh, you're amazing.
What's the duration? So the duration.
With the
duration's
automatic
a
crit,
minute.
does he get a hit again, or?
But he's probably has to concentrate it.
It doesn't say it's concentration, no. But he
it'll
does
say it
get,
in the
he
spell
does get
list
to
when
it.
it's got thumbs up.
Yeah, so at the end of each of his turns, I can make another wisdom save throw to try and break out. So he can break out at any point. But for the moment, he's stuck. Chug, you're up.
Chug attacks.
Alright,
I'll move closer and I'll attack.
cool. Roll attack with advantage.
Yay for advantage. 14.
That's a hit. Roll damage. Automatic critical strike. This will trigger your
Does that
weapon
mean I
too.
can roll 1 dice twice, or?
Yes. So sorry, your weapon is the mace, right?
Yeah, so 2d6.
So you roll 4d6. You double your attack dice.
3. 2, 5. 3 again. 2 again.
10 damage.
So that 10 plus 3 is 13.
Awesome. So you crack. Now that weapon's got it on crit, doesn't it? Doesn't it do something cool on crit?
I think it does. On critical hit, the quaking mole explodes, sending its target no bigger than size large, flying backwards 30 feet and taking an additional 1d4 bludgeoning. Now, I assume he's a large thing, so he's not flying anywhere.
He's no bigger than size large, so yeah, he gets shot flying. James, can you make a dexterity saving throw for yourself and for Liam as this ogre gets shot towards you?
I'm so unhappy right now. Me first. Liam second. Okay, he's dead. Dexterity. I'm going to say we have no modifiers. Well, I don't. So it's 11 for me, 4 for Liam.
Should I roll that extra 1d4 damage?
Hey, yes. Do 1d4 as he goes crashing into the wall. Liam, Liam. So James, you managed to just duck out of the way. However, Liam does get caught by the ogre, and he takes 1 bludgeoning damage.
The ogre takes another 2.
Cool. Dodrick, your turn. Are you doing anything else? Chuck?
No, that's... So he just ragdolled all the way over the wall, did he?
Yeah. I will say that the action will send him prone as well.
Liam?
No. No, I'll say Liam's still on his feet. He just got sort of pushed up against the wall. That hasn't sort of knocked him prone. The ogre, however, is.
He's still paralyzed.
Did I not suffer anything from that?
That's. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll get you to make a dexterity as well.
I didn't want to. I was just shit.
Go for it.
What do I gotta do?
Just dexterity save.
I might be in with a chance. 11 plus 4, 15.
Yeah, you're safe. You managed to duck out of the way. You're already cowering from missing the attack, so it just went straight over you. Dodrick, you'll go.
Just thinking about that
Oh, Daddy, I
squishy thing.
forgot one thing.
Yeah.
So, as being an orc, savage attacks, when you score a critical hit, roll one of the dice an additional time and add to the extra.
All right. Roll another d6.
Only two.
Cool. Sorry, Dodo. Go again.
Just thinking because I'm out of like distance. I'm out of range of the ogre unless I dash.
You could go your 30 feet and you'd still be within 5 feet.
As a
feet of
rogue,
the
you get to spend it automatically for dashing, don't you? You can use your free action.
Yeah, I can.
Is that correct? You get to use your bonus action to do that.
I can, yeah.
So yeah. So you can get there. You can only do one attack, but you can get up to it. You're muted. Can't hear.
Sorry?
You were muted. Couldn't hear.
Oh, well, yeah, I will dash and jump on his head.
Alright. Make an attack roll with advantage. Yeah, you're quiet again.
I wasn't talking.
Okay. You look like you said 15.
I did, but I was, yeah, I'm pushed to talk. So that's 22 to hit.
Yep, that is a hit. An automatic crit. Roll double damage.
Why isn't it automatic crit?
He's paralyzed.
Oh, nice.
He's dead. That's what he is.
13 damage.
Nice. That's with sneak attack as well?
No, but that was my next question. So because I've got an ally within 5 feet,
You
I've
got
got a...
advantage on the attack roll, so it's just straight up sneak attack.
And the
That's
ogre's
another
facing
6.
the other way, so it won't see it coming.
Yeah.
So what did I say for my first one? 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 19 total.
Awesome. Alright. James, roll d20 for Liam.
10.
Cool. Sorry, I'm just deciding what I want to do.
Stab him in the dick. Surely he's only got like 5 health left. Oh no.
Actually, I should probably make that black again because you can't see it. Let's Liam's go.
Okay, so you're saying he's not channeling. He's a bit sore.
Yep.
What does magic missile do?
No hit roll, automatic hit, and yeah, you can upcast it as a second level spell if you wish, but just a small amount of damage per missile shot. And you can separate the attacks, so you can hit one missile into one target and 2 into another if you want, or 1-1-1.
Have a sword.
Well, no. If Liam's standing in within 5, then the magic missile can crit as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could slap him in the face and it would crit.
Yeah, but I want a magic missile. So he's going to cast magic missile at point blank range into the ogre's fat cheeks.
All right. Roll double damage for each missile.
What's the
It's
dice for each missile?
D4, I think.
And how many missiles?
at first level, 3.
Okay, so 3d4 and I roll it twice. So
Right.
6d4.
Yep.
Okay, pretty terrible rolls, but in total damage, 12.
12?
Yeah.
So Liam sort of waves his hand gently, and these 3 white balls of light just sort of appear. They just sort of blob and just sort of, float in the air. Next thing, they just go pop, 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 and just fire into this ogre. And they find all the parts underneath the armor and just explode. And you just see blood just sort of dripping out. And the ogre lies motionless.
Yeah, got him. Good boy, Liam.
And that's actually, you slew him. Just there as well. Now, you guys have finished combat here, so to speak.
Yep.
At least that you know of. You don't know what's happened to the little squidgy ball on the other side of the illusion for the moment. But everything's still and moving and unmoving here at the moment. So, what do you do?
What do we do?
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest and
Sleep
say,
nap time.
yeah, bedtime.
Yeah, that's okay. I just want to know what would you do for the start of the next game? Are you going to check and loot?
Kill everything else that comes through.
Okay.
We need to be vigilant for the little eye of the beholder, assuming that Dodrick's told us about it.
And pick up my sword.
You spend a few moments rummaging through the dead ogre's legs, and you find your short sword on the ground.
Yay!
Do we take XP?
Yeah, I'll award that. I'd have to. Yeah, I'll award that in the Discord later, and you can add that before the next game. That'd be fine. I gotta recollect what you guys have done.
Easy done. All right, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm going to work.
Enjoy.
The fun stuff.
See you.
I'll catch you later.
See ya.
Bye all.
2 weeks, guys.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yep.
Right.
Righto.